People Station V103, welcome to our V103 Black Music Month series brought to you by my family at Peach State Health Plan. I'm your host, Greg Street. Tune in all month long for our celebration of Black Music Month with in-depth interviews and performances from some of your favorite artists. Trust Peach State Health Plan with your family's health. They have benefits you can really use. Make it all part of your plan. It's Black Music Month here at the People Station, V103, sitting here with Jacquees. I'm Greg Street, and man, June 2021.
Yeah.
What is looking like?
Well, it's looking good. Speaking of black music, I'm performing on the Black Music Honors Awards this month.
Well, congratulations.
Yes, sir. They honoring Genuine, so I got to honor Genuine. It was super dope.
Wow. So all the people that's tuned in to the People Station, V103, online, listen, you're on the app, you're streaming. This relationship goes back to Towers High School, 9th, 10th grade.
Ninth grade.
9th grade.
Yes, sir.
Coach Byron.
Yeah.
Jacquees was actually coming up to the radio station with Coach Byron, who coaches kids in boxing. But you was playing football.
Yeah.
So what was that exactly the relationship with you and Coach Byron?
Me and Coach B, you know, B was really like on my team. B introduced me to block, you know, which was my first situation in Atlanta. He was training his kids, and B was just a person that was training people, kids. But when he would train their kids, he would always tell them about me, cause you know I was a kid at the time. I was only 14, and you know, B was just a pivotal player on my team. You know, I used to tell people to call me A because I'm always with B and C. That's what I used to say when I was young. But like I said, he played a big part, you know, Coach B. I'm still with him to this day. You know, he had the car that I used to ride around in to get around to all my shows. You know, we used to call her Betsy. He had a Jeep Cherokee. It was an old Jeep Cherokee.
Wow.
Yeah, Coach B. Big shout out to B.
Now, a lot of people, if you really can trace the roots of the journey of Jacquees, you can kind of understand why he calls himself the king of R&B. Like he said, this all started in 9th grade at Towers High School. Block entertainment, you was messing around a little bit with Fly, T.I.G.
Yeah.
And then the whole Rich Gang situation.
Thanks.
Now, what was it like first joining up with the Rich Gang with Birdman and Cash Money, Young Money?
It was crazy. I remember the day I signed a contract, and I actually remember my first day actually walking into the studio. We used to work out of Dallas, Austin studio. It was called DARP Studios back in the day. And I remember walking in there and I seen Thug, you know what I'm saying? I knew Thug from Atlanta, you know, because we always, you know, we had a couple shows together, but not a lot. You know, we didn't know each other that personally, but I knew that was Young Thug.
Right.
You know, he knew I was Jacquees, so I remember watching, Slime was just sitting right there watching my video, Soldier, on the big screen. And I came in, he was by himself. It was me and Egg Roll, and I remember he turned around, he was like, man, welcome to Rich Gang, Slime. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, we about to blow up. He was like, we about to be superstars. You feel me? And I remember me and Thug took a picture. He was like, bruh, we about to go crazy. And I just remember the beginning, like when Stunner took us all to Miami. I never forget, we went to, I think we was at Live or something like that, KLD back in the day. And
Live on Sunday.
Yeah, we was in there, and I remember I had on a big old white T-shirt. This the beginning. I had on one of them t-shirts you buy from like the gas station, but I had like a large on. You feel me? So I remember Thug had a white tee on, but you know, Slime stuff was fitted. He had the jean vest on. And I remember he was like, hey, man. He was like, hey, put this vest on. You feel me? I put the vest on. He was like, and stop standing in the back. You feel me? Stand on the sofa. He was like, bro, we ain't come this far for you to be standing in the back. I just will never forget all that stuff. So the beginning was crazy, and just putting out the music, you know, me being able to be on Rich Gang, the Tour Part 1 mixtape, I feel like that was legendary. You know, the legendary mixtape with Rich Homie Quan and Young Thug. I was able to be a part of that. It was just great in the beginning. You know, it's still great now, but ain't nothing like the beginning.
I got some skits on that tape too, but
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
hey, but check this out though. A lot of people think like Birdman and Slim like equal partners, but since Slim is so quiet, most people don't know that Slim is like the big R&B fan of the two. Like he really is into signing R&B artists.
Facts.
So on a day-to-day, how many times a week do you say you talk to Slim?
I say probably like as much as I need to, because if I need him, he'll pick up. You know what I'm saying? I don't really hit Slim unless I got something I want to tell him, like some of my business, or like if I got a question about my real business. You know, like, we talk about my personal business a lot. Like, me and Slim been close since I was, like, 20. You know what I'm saying? So we always had, like, a different relationship than me and Stunner. Because, you know, Slim and Baby, like, night and day.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Batman and Robin.
Facts.
Superman and Batman.
For sure.
Now, with the state of R&B being where it is right now, and you calling yourself the quote-unquote king of R&B, I know a lot of people don't understand it, but for new R&B artists that are trying to get into the game, give me just a little taste of something that you would tell them in this journey, in this mission of trying to get on, like, because, you know, You had 3 situations.
Yeah. I mean, I would just say never give up on yourself. It's so easy to be brainwashed, and it's so easy to let people deteriorate your mind and your dreams, you know. Like you said, I've been through a lot of situations, but you know, none of those guys ever deteriorated my mind, though. You know what I'm saying? It was always stepping stones. So, you know, I salute them to this day. But for a new artist, I would just say, like, never give up on yourself, you know, and always know what you want to do. I was always the type of young boy, like, that knew what I want to do. Like, I had a vision for myself, like, they all had visions for me, but I knew what I want to do. So I would just tell them, continue to do you, you know, never get down on yourself. You know, always find ways to put out your music, because there's so many outlets to put out music now. When I was coming up, it was literally, I only knew about YouTube. You know, it was just YouTube, but now you got the gram, you got Twitter, you got everything that you could put out.
You can break an artist on TikTok.
Yeah, you could go #1 on TikTok. So I would just say, bro, tap into the new world and just never give up on yourself, because, you know, it's no age limit on when to make it. You know, I used to be so pressed on making it when I was 16, even though I was out. I didn't really blow up till I was like 19, 21. So just stay at it. You know, it might not happen when you want it to, but it's going to happen if you stay at it.
Now, from the music side to the business side, how important it is to understand some things about the business when it comes to publishing and contracts and touring
Very
and
important.
merch.
It's important to know all that stuff. You know, I would tell any young artist, you know, that's the number one thing. You should definitely know your business. You know, you should definitely get into everything. Like, get into your contracts, call your lawyers. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you understand the language, because there's always a type of language that you don't understand. You know, you should definitely pay attention to everything, you know, and the black and white is what matters. So make sure you definitely pay attention to your contracts. Publishing is how you gonna get paid forever. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you get your credit, all your percentages, you know, everything, your royalties, everything you need to get. Just make sure you pay attention to that.
Now I can remember when you first made the statement about being the king of R&B,
Yeah.
and some people got their feathers, their feathers got ruffled. One particular person in particular that I introduced you to backstage at the V103 concert.
Yeah, man. I gotta talk about that.
Yes, we was at State Farm Arena shortly after Jacquees proclaimed to be the king of R&B. And Keith Sweat is a personal friend of mine also. He's like, man, what's up with Jacquees? I know you know him, but man, what's up with him, man? He like, so I'm gonna let you talk. Y'all talk. So come on, let's go.
Man, that day was crazy, man. I remember coming off the stage, and really, I'm gonna put him on blast. It was TK. TK Kravitz. If y'all don't know TK Kravitz, I got the record Ocean with him. He got a bunch of other records. You know what I'm saying? Super talented artist.
Super talented.
TK was with me. You feel me? He was like, Queen, they just said he the king R&B. I'm like, who? You feel me? I'm like, who? You know, we was turned. We just had got off stage in front of all them people at the Fillers. Now, you got to understand, to be in the Fillers was a real dream for me. So to be in there with everybody just screaming your name and stuff like that, like, you going to feel a type of way. You know what I'm saying? And I had just said on the King R&B, come off stage. Keith Sweat. I didn't know it was Keith Sweat. You know, I'm a young boy. I couldn't really just see off the rip like, oh, that's Sweat. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody knows Sweat face. I couldn't see him. So I'm like, boom, I instantly go at him. Boo, man, I'm the King R&B. This the king from back then. Street come to my room like, hey, Jacquees, boy, that's Keith Sweat. Come out here. You feel me? I'm like, all right, you feel me? I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I'm not knowing what's going on, you feel me? I'm like, okay, cool. I'm on my pedestal right now. I'm turned. I'm high of life. I go outside street like, we in a corner, you feel me? And it feels, we in a corner, a real corner, me, Street, and Keith Sweat.
We're in the corner back like where the team come in.
Yes, right there.
Where the Hawks come in.
Yeah, so we right that street like, Quit this the OG Q Sweat, you know, y'all need to boo. Sweat looked at me, cause you know he taller than me, you feel me? Looked at me. He like, man, young boy, I can tell you don't know who I am, huh? Da-da-da. He just started naming everything he did. Da-da-da-da-da. But basically, from that day, we became like this. It was all because of Street, you know what I'm saying? But we became like close. Like, you know, me and Keith, like I can say, he one of the mentors now. Like when I did my Pandora stage, he introduced me, you know what I'm saying? And Sweat called me like every week. You know what I'm saying? Like, to just talk. You know, I was just at his crib like 2 weeks ago working on music. So everything happened for a reason. You know, I'm glad that happened because if that would have never happened, we'd have never been as close as we is. You know, so appreciate it, Street.
What are some other influences?
Definitely Chris Brown. You know, Chris Brown, my big bro. Usher. Usher, if you watching this, it's time for us to get in the studio. Um,
Let's pull up on it in Vegas.
yeah. Ush, no, man. I be talking to Ush all the time. Ush, Michael Jackson being my greatest inspiration. I got old inspiration like the Temptations, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been influenced by hip hop too, like Wayne,